Here we are with a fairly simple setup, just a Hayward Super Pump and DE filter, diatomaceous earth. A lot of pool techs aren't familiar with these because there's not a lot of them around, at least the area I work in. So you see that handle right there, that's the bump handle, that's the telltale sign that you're looking at a DE filter. That just kind of shakes the internals around and knocks some of the debris off, and then you need to recharge it with diatomaceous earth. It also needs to be stripped down, broken apart, and the grid's cleaned periodically. So in terms of filters, it's a little bit of a high maintenance filter versus maybe a sand filter that only needs backwashing periodically, or a cartridge filter that needs to be stripped down and have the cartridges cleaned maybe once a year, twice a year at most, depending on how much debris your pool gets and the quality of the maintenance of your water chemistry. So there's not much to see here, but a couple quick notes. Again, we're looking at some street elbow fittings. You got a street L sticking right out of the top of the pump there, so that's a pretty big flow restriction. This big loop of spa flex here to go back towards the supply line, I mean, it's fine. It's not under a ton of stress. You know, I probably would have liked to see some fittings in there instead. Given enough time, eventually this connection here will probably fail just because of the amount of strain on that, but it's not really a big deal. The biggest deal here in this room, this very small room, is something that most guys would miss. Let's take a look here. See this fitting? This elbow fitting that the sun is shining right through there? That is a little bit of a problem. So a typical barbed fitting like that nowadays would be gray. This one is like a clear material, and you can even see as I'm moving it around, it's flexing. That's because this 90 is made out of nylon. 70s and 80s, somebody got the bright idea to use nylon fittings because they were a couple cents cheaper than, you know, these gray PVC counterparts. And the only problem is nylon reacts when exposed to chlorine. Nylon and chlorine are not able to be used in the same system, so at least in the area that I work in, there's hundreds, thousands of pools even that were all plumbed in with these nylon fittings. And nylon fittings are guaranteed to fail. It's just a matter of time. So if you see nylon fittings in your pool, like if I dig up your pool return because it's leaking and I find a nylon elbow down there, I'm gonna recommend to you that we replace all of the plumbing, because I've got the tools there for digging and breaking concrete, and if you have nylon fittings, again, it's not a matter of if it's going to fail, it's a matter of when it's going to fail. And you know, these haven't been used in decades now, and the ones that are still out there in service are almost all sure to be leaking or about to fail. So if you have a nylon fitting in your pump room, again, it's almost see-through. It's slightly translucent, and that's why you can see as the sun's hitting it here, it's really making it look like it's glowing. Yeah, these are just bad fittings that should never have been used in the pool industry, and yet they're all over the place. So keep your eye out for these guys.